During COVID, many of us got used to working from home, but since then there's been pressure from almost every industry to return to the office. Now, the Victorian government is looking to pass legislation that would make working from home for up to 2 days a week a legal right. To debate this tonight, we're joined by Tim Piper from the Australian Industry Group and Nicole McPherson from the Finance Sector Union. Thank you so much for your time. Nicole, let's start with you. Do workers really need this right locked in by law?
Look, working from home has absolutely revolutionised the lives of finance workers. Since COVID, when all of us had to move to working from home, whether we liked it or not, what workers have really demonstrated is that we can work just as effectively from home. So we really welcome this announcement from the Victorian government to give workers this right so that workers can continue to balance work lives and their lives at home in a way that makes workers more productive, employers more successful and families happier.
Yeah, so it's not just about working from home in the pyjamas, I think is what you're telling me. Tim, you've called the move an overreach by the government. Why is that?
Well, it's an overreach for a number of reasons. An overreach means that it's not reasonable. What we are questioning is whether the government's even able to do it from a constitutional perspective, because this is a power that they actually ceded to the federal government 30 years ago, so that they're going to have to deliver and decide on that. Secondly, is it really reasonable to be mandating this to employers? After all, they're the people that are having to pay the wages. They're the people that know what productivity is created. They're the people that have created this flexibility over the last few years and enabled many people not to be working at home or to be working in the office and having the hybrid. What we really understand is it should be from 0 to 5 days, not just from 0 to 3 days, that there's that flexibility. And finally, the government should be getting its own act together. The government should be deciding what happens with its own public servants before it tries to impose anything on businesses, because it just simply is not reasonable to have not understood exactly what the implications are and have no consultation whatsoever with businesses before this is being announced, and then to try and implement it now would be crazy.
Tim, if it is unconstitutional, will you challenge it in court?
Look, I think we'll see challenges in court. If this goes through, there's going to be challenges occur because employers will not be happy with being forced to do certain things. Employers are very happy to be flexible. Employers are very happy to be involved. But at the moment, they don't feel like they've had any chance to have a discussion with the government at all.
Nicole, industry groups claim this might lead to businesses moving interstate. Do you think that's realistic?
Look, not at all. Rather than being an overreach, what this law is a common sense, practical step by the Victorian government to make sure that Victoria is the most attractive place in the country to actually attract workers. What we know is that giving workers a sensible amount of flexibility, allowing them to make sure that their work gets done. And that's a really important point. This isn't about letting people stay at home in their pyjamas and not do their work. What this is actually about is making sure that workers who can do their jobs from home have the ability to do that and also attend the office when they need to. So it's not an overreach. It's common sense. It's practical, and it's going to make employers' lives better and also workers' lives better.
Tim, the businesses that you represent, what do they want? Do they want workers back in the office 5 days a week?
It varies. Some businesses are allowing people to have 0 days a week away from in the office, and that can work for them. But others are saying we need them in 5 days a week, and they know what the productivity is for their businesses. They know what is needed for their businesses. They can be flexible. They have been flexible. They've been family friendly. And I guess the other thing is that employees are able to vote with their feet. If they're not getting what they need, they can go to another employer that creates and has provided the flexibility that they need. But first and foremost, you can't be mandating on a business what they need, because businesses know what is most productive for them, and they're the ones that want the most productive workplace, because they're the ones that are putting the money up after all.
Very interesting debate. Thank you both for your time tonight.